Hello, and welcome back to our U.S. Navy 1890 campaign, Waves of Steel. In the last episode, war were declared. We actually managed to finish several of our brand new Lexington class uh, aircraft carriers, but they're not ready for this war. The air groups are incomplete, very, very incomplete, and they are poorly trained. So they're just going to hang out around home for now. We ended up sending some forces to Europe, and hopefully that's where the war will stay. I think France is allied with Germany. Yes, they are. So we may have some more fighting in and around Northern Europe as usual. Anyhow, for the sake of getting as much in as we can during this episode, I'm going to send off to Northern Europe some submarines. And that'll be about it. Like, let's get started. So save the game, and off we go. Here we go. Very first clash of the, well, I want to decline this one. It's right off the French coast. And it's just a cruiser fight, so I'm not too worried about it. This one's off the North American coast. They might decline that. They did. So starting things off with a whimper so far. Our corvettes are going to slowly begin finishing. We can start assigning those to trade protection. We have the advantage in electronic warfare right now. And we're going to start losing submarines. All right, so a lot of our submarines are failing to return from patrols, which is unfortunate. And we're blockading, so we're not even going to get really much in the way of free victory points. But now that Germany is creeping closer to war, once Germany jumps in, we should be pretty good. Did we send our battleships to Europe? Apparently we did. They're going through the Central Pacific for some reason. Alrighty, what do we got here? If it involves our carriers, we might be okay. This is probably against battle cruisers. We're actually far enough away from the French coast that I wanted to take this one. We can run, like we can always run westward. Uh, we don't have anything in range, so we'll just say suppress enemy airfields. We don't have like anything even close to being in range. Thank you, Windows. By the way, my computer can't support Windows 11, so I don't know what I'm supposed to do. Not like I can just get a new computer. All right, and we have some contact here. We do have SSMs on our light cruisers. We got some on this destroyer. We got one on this destroyer anyhow. And we have some on these destroyers as well here. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is these were reported as destroyers right here out in front. There's battle cruisers. So we're going to go ahead and I'm going to hide my heavy cruisers behind everything else. I'm going to put the destroyers out in front. Operation Human Shield. And once we get close to, I think once we get some radar contacts, we'll be able to start launching missiles. And it will hopefully be the destroyers which eat the first salvo. Yeah, lots of contacts. Unknown radar. All right, we will go ahead and fire at will. There goes some missiles. Oh, we're being overflown. So where are our missile launchers on this thing? They look like they're right here, maybe right there. So it feels like it should be. It should be firing. There we go. Now we're launching some missiles. Apparently we can't launch at radar contacts yet. We have to have actual things to shoot at. And we still have our torpedoes. So we'll go ahead and start launching some in the general direction that we think they might be going. We're going to have to turn the waters in a little bit so it doesn't get torpedoed by our own dudes. We don't appear to be scoring any missile hits either, which is unfortunate. Right, I have to turn my destroyers to bring the missiles to bear, I believe. Well, we got a lot of torpedoes in the water. Let's keep spreading them out a bit. And we'll start getting out of here. We're already taking damage on the waters. And we have, okay, no more missiles on the light cruisers. No missiles on the destroyers. I don't think we scored any missile hits, but neither did they. So we'll call it even. And they somehow managed to dodge all of those beautiful torpedoes that we launched. They're scoring hits on our light cruisers, so let's try and get out of here. Ooh, our heavy cruisers are hitting our heavy cruisers. All right, these heavy cruisers are not made for this sort of encounter. Yeah, they're just getting beat up. Yep. All right, let's get out of here. This is an unsuccessful encounter that we're having here. Maybe I can force the battle cruisers to break off a little bit. Well, we scored one torpedo hit, but that, in this era, that's not enough. Not enough to sink anything. These things probably have 3 or 4 torpedo protection on them. Yeah, these battle cruisers are going to do us in. Still have SSMs on these destroyers. No hits. Man, uh, their battle cruisers are good at dodging. Yeah, so this is a very nasty loss for us. We lost one of our all-purpose heavy cruisers, but, you know, what are you going to do? That's the Pittsburgh. It doesn't have any. This thing here has SSMs on it. And then down here are the light cruisers that are running away. Maybe I can score a missile hit on this one from this one destroyer. Nope. Okay. We are in the missile age, but not the age of missile domination. All right. Well, we are losing some destroyers here. We're just getting the heck out of here. Flee, run away with everything that we have. No, we're not launching float planes. We're getting out of here. Okay. Let's go down to cruise speed so we don't lose the fuel in all of our ships. It end up creeping along too much. Yeah, I shouldn't have took this fight, but I just wanted to fight, you know? Sometimes you just need to fight. So we lost a heavy cruiser and 2 destroyers. We did light damage to battle cruisers and heavy damage to a destroyer. We scored 1 torpedo hit and 1 missile hit. Here is the missile hit. Did light damage. So nothing at all, essentially. Hits the secondary battery, started a fire, disabled the radar, but it's fine. Not going to sink it. All right, so they get an enemy victory, major victory. We lose a prestige. And there's Germany. Increases AA and surface accuracy of auto-loaded dual-purpose guns below 6 inches. Alrighty, and we get gradual AP penetration improvement. Oh boy, the Wasp was torpedoed. Was that one of the ones in Europe? Wow, we sank 70 enemy merchants as soon as they were unblockaded. Yeah, I'd say it's causing a fuel shortage. Let's save the game. Was the Wasp one of our ships in service? The Wasp. Oh, it's one of the enterprises that we sent to Europe. So that's going to be out of the fighting for a while. Not that it was particularly involved in the fighting, but there you go. All right, let's 15 minutes in. Let's give her another go. Spin the wheel again. No. We need 3 more ships on trade protection. There's 1. And we can throw a couple of destroyers in there. So we'll do like 13, I guess. So trade protection, sure. There you go. And we have 3 months basically until these Red Rivers are all finished with their upgrade or refurbishment. All right, what do we got here? Nothing really. Not keen on fighting against battle cruisers, so we're just going to decline this. But it costs us nothing because we have the intelligence advantage. Here's another battle. We could potentially get our carriers involved in this one. Nope. So we're just going to decline this one again. Italy, how dare you? After all after everything I've not done for you. Sank another 70 enemy merchants. Wow. Save. We're going to build 5 more missile subs. Just keep replacing the losses eventually down the road. Where are my battleships? They're in the Caribbean. What is going on here? Maybe they'll be in Northern Europe this next turn. Dang it, what's going on here? Okay. Let's see, these Miamis. Go to Division 10, I think. Yes. So we'll go ahead and assign these Division number 4. Just get them out of the way. And this goes into protecting our all-important aircraft carriers. And we came in here to assign more trade protection, didn't we? So we'll do like Division number 2, because it's not actively involved in anything, so it will do trade protection. And off we go. Yeah, now we got battleships. You wait, now that we have our battleships, it's going to be a carrier battle. No. All right, cool. We'll take this. We'll take this fight. Suppress enemy. We'll attack ships in general. And dawn is arriving just as it's kicking off there. All right, we get to see how our Minnesotas fare in modern combat. Hopefully, no CVs. Because we have CVs here. Like, we should get to use them. If the enemy gets to use theirs, we should get to use ours. That's all I'm going to say. That'd be the only fair way for this to work out. Line ahead. So we'll have a few destroyers out on point to absorb the initial volley. And we'll surround our battleships with even more destroyers that can, again, Operation Stop the Bullet with Your Face. I just want to see these 17-inch guns do something, please. Okay, enemy was locking on over here. So we're going to go on fire at will mode, and we will start maneuvering a little bit. Here come the missiles. Here come the missiles. Yep, they are getting pummeled. This is what the warfare is like in this era. You sacrifice your destroyers. Oh, God. Sacrifice your destroyers so that your more important ships can survive. Do we have missiles on this thing? We do have SSMs on these battleships. All right, we just got hit by a missile. There we go. Get clap back. Clap back. How's the Michigan looking? It took 1 missile hit, right? Destroyed one of our heavy launchers, started a fire, but looks like we're under control here. Nice. Get them back with more missile hits. It looks like we get destroyers that are just circling damaged. So we're going to return our destroyers that are damaged to home if we can. They probably won't make it. They ate a lot of hits. But just get them clear of the battlefield for now. And we turned off our missiles because we don't want to waste them on all this little damaged stuff. We're waiting for more clear shots on big targets, if possible. All right, slow you down to 9 knots to hopefully not let you flood. This Lamberton might actually survive. It doesn't have any flooding or anything of the sort. Slow you down a little bit more. We're going to make sure our destroyers stay between... Man, what the heck? Trying to make sure our destroyers stay in between the battleships and enemy everything else. We also need to keep maneuvering to avoid getting hit by torpedoes. So we're going to dip south with the battleships. Because we were sailing like a kind of parallel course to them, so they'd be launching torpedoes up this way. Oh, nice 17-inch hit on one of the battleships. The one out here. This is the Vetten class, I think. Vetten. 32 knots, 43,000 tons, 17-inch guns, all forward armament. This is a good matchup for us. Let's do it. Let's see who has the better battleships. How's my Michigan looking? Looking solid. Let's fire off a few missiles. Just to see if we can hit anything. They're running away. This is so cowardly. Come on. Oh, now we get hit by a torpedo. Alright. Alright. Let's go home, I guess. This is dumb. I hate how the AI does this. Like, all they do is run away. Scoring some hits with the 17s. Another one with the 17. Let's dodge a little bit more. This Vetten is reporting heavy damage, allegedly. The North Carolina is limiting the flooding. It's still flooding pretty hard, though. Oops. Keep on popping that thing up. I saw some of our torpedo reloads explode just a second ago. Alright, what did we just hit? Out there? Nice. It doesn't look like the Vetten is slowing down very much, is it? Still scoring hits on it, however. We got our forward guns. In fact, we can go into a line abreast formation. That'll bring more guns to bear. Because we got forward armaments here. And why not fire off some more missiles if we have them? Mr. Barrow. Now, we do need to be a little bit careful around this destroyer. It could very well be capable of launching off a little volley, but we're going to send our destroyers home. They have done enough. And if we can save a few of them, that would be kind of handy. The McCalls are going to get replaced after the war at some point, but we still don't want to just throw them away if you don't have to. Like we're willing to throw them away when needed for strategic purposes, like to save another ship, or to occasionally do like a little uh, bonsai charge with our ships. Okay, we just got hit by a missile up here. We're going to go ahead and slow him down to 6 knots so he doesn't flood out, but he is on fire. So he might just be a write-off. And we've like lost sight of the Veton class. Scoring some hits on their battleship. All right, let's detach our ugly as sin cruisers. We're going to put them into a line ahead, and we're going to go down here and try to finish off this Bremen, which leaves us a little bit undefended from the air. So we're going to start heading north with our ships, and we're going to put them back into line ahead formation. So we're essentially we're going northwest because we're getting further. We want to get further and further away from the German coast, just in case they got some planes they can send at us. But I would love, if I could, to hit that Westfalen enough that we slow it down. Or Westfalen, I don't know. Max speed here. We hit it again. All right, so this Bremen is pretty much dead in the water. So I'm going to fire off a salvo of torpedoes at it. And we're going to go and rejoin the battleships in the chase over here. Oh, well, we hit them with a dud. Do we have any? I hate that. All right, let's fire up a couple more salvos. I'm pretty sure it's dead, considering how much it's been hit by the gunboats, the gun cruisers. But if we could put a torpedo into it, that much guarantee. There you go. 3 more hits on the Westfalen. More. Yes, we are pummeling it with 17-inch guns. What kind of armor does it have? 13-inch? I don't think that'll hold up very well against what we're throwing at it. And it looks like it's slowing down. So we're going to go ahead and put that on AI control. I'd love to catch that Veton down there too, if I could, but I don't think it's too likely in this battle. Let's change our direction a little bit here. Just in case there's torpedoes coming this way, and we are smashing this thing with the big guns. Now we're putting shots into the Veton again. Let's make our target that one there. Uh-oh, enemy aircraft. Here come the strike craft. So now it's time to go home, I guess. A little bit too late. We're gonna quickly recover our float planes and get the heck out of here. Go, go, go. I want to slow down a little bit so that the what is that? So the Minnesota can catch up. All right, how is my retreat looking here? Is my North Carolina, you good? Still flooding a little bit, but it's looking like it's home free. And we're going to aim the rest of the fleet towards home. And once the Minnesota catches up to the formation, we're going to go back up to max speed. So I think we did okay there. We'll find out in just a minute. I may need to deploy more aircraft to this airbase here. All right, how did we do? We lost 2 destroyers. We sank an enemy battleship. We sank an enemy cruiser and 5 destroyers. Beautiful. Check out the ship details. I think that was a big boy. 1937, 45,000 tons. He ate 117 heavy hits. We scored a bunch of missile hits on that one of their the light cruiser, and that's a good battle. It's a good result. Gets us some victory points that we need. 10,000 versus 2,500, and a couple of prestige. Battle in the North Sea. Why not? Okay, we're having some problems with our aircraft carriers, and we get more money. Lovely. Food is becoming scarce in France. We're sinking 61 merchants a month, down from 70. Yeah, they're not going to be able to hold out very long under that sort of economic pounding. Okay, take a look at our construction queue because we are 33 minutes in, so this will be the end of the episode here once we figure out what we're doing. This war could end at any moment. It really could. We sank one of Britain's or Germany's only 2. They only have 2 battleships afloat. That was one of them. They still got their battle cruisers. France still has 4 battle cruisers. Germany has 9 carriers. So that is kind of dangerous. And we really, honestly, we really only have 4 cruisers right now, or 4 carriers right now, because everything else is getting their air wings sorted out. And then they have another 9 light carriers. So that is dangerous. So we'll probably have to just win this war on economic warfare with submarines. We're going to keep our monthly balance because this war could end very quickly with the submarine warfare stuff. And you know what our monthly balance is going to do. It's going to tank. So we need to be ready for that. We don't want to be spending too close to even when that happens. So that's it. That is the end of this episode. Hope you enjoyed watching. We had a little bit of a flub to start the war with, and then we got our revenge. We're more than double their victory points right now. So we struck back, and we are in the we're entering the age of the missiles. So we need to be ready for that. We need to be ready for building larger destroyers that just forget about guns. Essentially, just pack on the missiles. Maybe have like one little pop gun somewhere. And of course, the creme de la creme, the missile corvettes, eventually. And we should be able to build some pretty cool missile cruisers too now, where you don't have to put armor on them. So that's something else to consider. Because we'll have our air defense cruisers, the Miamis and the Chattanoogas. We'll be able to retire probably the Tacomas. The Tacomas will probably get retired. And the Brooklyns will stay on. Actually, no, hang on. We'll probably retire. Yeah, we'll retire the Tacomas and keep the Brooklyns on as foreign station ships, the heavy cruisers. And once the Tacomas are gone, we'll build up like a few groups, a few divisions worth of missile cruisers. So that's plans for the future. Maybe we'll get to the point where we'll have medium SSMs at that point, and we'll better pack on more medium SSMs versus fewer heavy SSMs. So that's it. I'll see you next time, and sail safe out there.